Hey gang, welcome back to Project KITT episode 6. So today we're going to do a tune-up on it. Plugs, wires, cap, rotor, and the distributor. We're going to destroy a car. And we're going to talk about this truck here behind me. So stay tuned and check it out. So let's talk about this truck right quick here at the end. So this truck was Keebler's. I think he said the first time they used this truck was in the episode where he first introduced you guys to PB and cheese. But he wanted to get rid of this one as well, so I brought it home. Take a quick look at the floor. She's full of change as well. So I'll tell you what, we'll have the same kind of contest giveaway if by next Thursday you take a guess. The closest person to get the correct number of change I find on the floor, I'll actually give away a SDN bracelet this time. So we'll do that. This thing, she came included with all sorts of SDN relics as well. Spoons, spoon bowls. So if I'll show you next week all the interesting stuff I find in this, but basically what I'm going to do with this truck is just get it to the point to resell it. It wasn't a major player in the show. And we'll use the proceeds from this sale to fund the KITT project, which I'll show you where we're at with that right now. Alright guys, we got the round 1 and round 2 parts in for KITT, and today my goal is to do the tune-up, but I also got some stuff for next week as well, which I'll show you later. And I want to get the battery installed so we can test it out to see if the tune-up stuff has a positive effect on drivability here. So let's get at it. Just a quick inventory of what we got here. So far our total investment is $254.47. All right, so that's our first resupply of parts. Get this old battery out of here. Hopefully with this different battery, these nail, look at that, square nail hold the battery in place, will end up being unnecessary. But one can only hope. Okay. Suppose we can lose the wooden wedge. Out with the old, in with the used. We're gonna put this one in differently. I'm gonna put it in like this. There. Now, I'm gonna clean these terminals up, get a good connection here, otherwise we'll end up with a similar problem. The not good electrical connection, it won't start, it'll do all sorts of funky stuff, won't charge correctly. So we want to have the best we can get, both on the post of the battery and in the battery terminal wire. Now these things are tapered, so if you don't get them all the way down onto the battery itself, when you go to tighten them up, it's going to leave a space, and the space will prevent it from actually tightening down. So probably part of the reason why screws were in there before. It's just corrosion prevented it from getting down all the way. So that feels pretty good there. I didn't check this thing. I charged it before I put it in the storage, but hey, enough to fire the starter. Running a little rough still. I can bet you more than anything that we've got some bad ignition system, so we'll replace that next. Throttle response is still a little better, but at least we're charging now and we got a decent battery. All right, let's do the tune-up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the distributor cap off because I want to start the process changing the wires as I'm going with the plugs. Now, these screws are set up pretty good because they're steel screws into aluminum. So I'm going to use this impact hammer to break them loose. This is definitely the way to do this, because if you didn't and you did it some other way and you broke the screws off or stripped them out, these are not hexalated, so they're not going to come apart nice and easy for you. You'll have to do some fancy footwork to get them out if you strip them. So we'll get this loosened up and off. On to the next. All right, let's pull the cap off. Take a look at it. The cap, a lot of corrosion on this. I mean, these points on this, the contact points, I'll put a close-up of them. They are super, super roached out, as is this distributor cap, or distributor rotor. We can pull that off. If you look, how oxidized this all is. In their infinite wisdom, the manufacturer of this cap decided to give us new screws. I can see why, because the old ones were pretty chunky. I always start everything by hand, especially into aluminum. Any resistance at all, maybe the screw's going in crooked, you'll strip the sucker out, and then that's a big problem. You're gonna be threading and tapping, or tapping and threading. Here's our new wires. Got all our plug wires. Look at these big things. Now, one at a time. These are actually labeled by number, so they probably are in there too, but one at a time, we're gonna change the plugs with the wires. So, this one, if you look, this is labeled number 2, and it went on to number 2, so we'll pull that out of there. 2's right on here labeled. And now we gotta match up lengthwise. I know it's gonna be one of these shorter ones. It's probably the shortest one, if not the second shortest one. Let's blow this out. Watch your eyes on this stuff. Looks good down in there. Let's get at it. Plugs are having a hard time coming out. First plug is out. Boy, was it hard to get out. Rusty as all could be. So hopefully, I don't see any metal files on the thread, so I think we got lucky. Hopefully we get lucky on the other 6. Just got the last spark plug out, and I'll show you a picture right now of how the gaps are supposed to look compared to the new ones. The gaps on these are pretty worn out, so definitely was an issue. All right, tune-up is complete. New plugs, new wires, new cap, new rotor. Let's hang this up and see how it runs. Seems to be running pretty good. Could it run a little smoother? Yeah, maybe it could run a little smoother. But that's, I mean, the throttle response, that's way beyond what you're ever gonna accelerate. So I call that results. We'll take it. Time to charge onwards. All right, for next week, we've got control arms, sway bar links, and front complete loaded struts. So struts, mounts, and springs. So that's what we're gonna be working on next week, is fixing that control arm out. I'm not sure if it'll get it all done in 1 week, but we're gonna give it a good go. All right, gang. Now, I promised that we were gonna smash a car. I'm gonna hold true to my word. Now I have airbags, but I think I'm gonna hold off on doing the airbag thing because it's a lot of setup and it's dangerous. But if I can get like 50 likes on this video, then I'll set it up with little detonator pads so I can be 100 feet away, and I'll try flipping over a car with like 4 airbags. We'll see what we can do. So if you smash that like button if you want to see that, but for now, we're going to use the old backhoe to smash something into oblivion and get it out of our system. All right, guys, here we are. We're ready. I'm going to take this backhoe here. I'm going to smash this 740 Volvo that let us down on race day. She made it all of 1 lap before the motor quit. So we're going to exact some revenge here. I'll get the wheels and cat off it later. But this thing has me blooming mad. Volvo, you've led me astray for 1 time too many. Oh. there's the aftermath of old 42. The Volvo that everybody loved, but unfortunately nobody could race in, as she only made it around the track for one lap before destruction set in, and the motor was no good. Unfortunately, Volvo, this is the end of your life, so we'll burn a candle and say a prayer, and may you ever find your way into some beer can somewhere, or maybe a new car over in China, where we get melted down and reused several times over. So, we'll see you in the future. Still have to pull out a couple things out of this car, but she is donezo. Feels good to get that out of my system. I hope it felt good for you too. Just to go through the relics that came out of this truck real quick. Got some cool pieces in here. We'll add to the KITT collection. A couple harmonica reeds, knife blades. Of course, can't be Stealth Degradation without some spoon tosses, right? Just little bits and bobs. This is a cool one right here. It says Veligio et Spiro. Someone tell me what this is, because that is pretty cool. It's plated, but it's a thick plating. Neat detail of the bird on there. And here's the coins. So, getting into that, tell me how many you think there are here, and the closest winner will win one of these SDN bracelets. It says live free or die on it. I'll close the results 6 p.m. let's say Wednesday of next week. And I'll put the date on the screen right now. 6 p.m. Closest person will win. I'll announce the winner during probably Thursday's episode. So stay tuned and have a great day.